All right, go ahead and grab some tees. This is going to be your practice session. As long as you strike something like a tee, foam ball in your backyard, it's real practice. Striking nothing is not the same. All right, but right now we're going to focus on setup. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tee down for our ball reference. All right, I'm going to show you from down the line first. All right, we're going to use the prime putt mat, which is great. This is the 12-footer. For our heel line, to make sure we're square to our target line. All right, and we're going to use the white marker here to make sure the ball's in the center. So I have a 7-iron here. So from pitching wedge to 7-iron, the ball's in the center of your stance. So this white marker goes right to the center of me, so you can have a consistent setup. You'll use the front white marker for your ball position. All right, so you'll place the tee right at that mark, so you know your setup is square. All right, so where I see players go off is they'll get real close here with the hands. All right, so that they have no room to swing, so their arms are pulled in, and there's no room here. So you need a good hand's length. So once you're in your hip hinge, a good hand's length from the butt end of the shaft to your belt line is a good rule of thumb. All right, so is there space here, or are you jammed up? All right, so give yourself some space so you have room to swing. Now, as far as your forward bend, all right, you want your armpits in line with the balls of your feet. If you have too much forward bend, you'll be beyond your toe line. And if you have too much sit, a lot of players sit into their heels, your butt will be way beyond the edge of the prime putt mat. All right, so you don't want your butt way past your heel line. All right, so you do want to hip hinge, but you don't want to stick your butt out. All right, because if you stick your butt out, you're not gonna have anything to sit into. So we want to start a little taller with the butt kind of under our center of mass. So then you have something to sit into. Now you want your trail arm lower than your lead arm from down the line. Where I see players go off is their shoulder line's open, so this arm gets higher. All right, so just make sure that this arm is a little lower. All right, so this would be a good setup right here. All right, so this is from down the line. All right, so now from the face-on view, I'm going to use these white markers on the prime putt mat to aid in my takeaway and target line. All right, so there's the white mark, and it's extended. All right, so this is a really good mat to use for your long game. All right, now where players go off with their shoulder line and their eye line is they get it ahead of the ball. All right, so look what that does to my shoulder line. It opens it. All right, so my chest is ahead of the ball. When players put their eye line on top of the ball, they still see their shoulder line open. So I ideally like to see their eye line behind the club head because that squares up the shoulders. All right, and then from there, you just keep your eye line there, and then you make your backswing. If your head starts on the ball, players go off by trying to keep their head on the ball, and they end up doing this in their backswing, trying to keep their eye line on the ball. So their spine gets in this angle. All right, so if you allow your eye line to be behind the club head, that squares up your shoulder line, and it makes a much safer backswing with your spine angle. All right, versus this. This is a back killer. This is safe for your back and puts you in a nice position here at the top of your swing. All right, so my eye line is not on the ball, it's over here. And be careful, I see this a ton, adding a lot of forward press. All right, the club will be slightly forward. Don't push it forward. All right, I don't see this a ton, I don't see it back. All right, but I definitely see it forward. And then that opens the shoulders even more. All right, so just be mindful of where your chest is, eye line is in relation to the ball. Again, I like my eye line behind the club head. That helps to square up the chest. So this arm is lower than the lead arm versus opening the chest, getting the eye line ahead of the ball. Now this arm is higher than the front arm. All right, so this is a really good mat. I'm out here on the patio. It's a beautiful day. I'm watching the golfers drive by here. And I'm practicing my setup, actually showing you guys the setup and showing you how to use the prime putt mat for your long game, which is phenomenal. All right, you can actually hit balls off of this. I mean, obviously I can't, so I'm hitting tees. All right, so when you hit a tee, when you strike something, that says to your brain that you're making a real swing. All right, if you weren't striking anything, your brain's like, well, that's not a real swing. I'm not going to make a real swing. So this is actually real practice. All right, and right now we're focused on the setup. So we've got the prime putt has markers at 9 feet, 6 and 3 feet for your putting, but we're gonna go ahead and use it for your long game. All right, and we're gonna use this later on for our takeaway, this white marker. All right, but it's gonna help you with the target line. So there's our target line from the back side, and here's our target line from the front side, and then I laid a shaft down. All right, so that's our target line, right there. All right, so that's how you set that up, so you use it, so you can have a consistent setup. And then just be mindful of your forward press. A lot of players take the shaft and they push it way forward. All right, that's way too much. So just no more than your inner thigh is good. All right, center's fine. You don't want to be back here, of course. All right, so here, anywhere within this quadrant. With the stance, I like slightly wider than shoulder width for me because it helps me get into a deeper hip flexion. All right, toes flared a little bit is fine. Square if you have super good mobility, but I find that you just flare them a little bit, especially on the lead side. Really helps to clear, get deeper into the butt because it opens up your hip joint when you flare your foot just a little bit, and it also helps you engage your glutes more. All right, if you're super toed, or even I see this toed in, you're not going to be able to sit into your hip joint. It's going to lock it up. And then be mindful of your knee. I press my knee in. That's how I was taught. I don't like it. I'm working to get the knee over the toe line at setup and keep it there. All right, I press it in to stabilize the hip, but it actually locks up the hip joint. So I'm still working to get that out. It's kind of in there, so I got to stay on top of it. But if you're a newer player, avoid this. Just keep your knee more neutral over your toe line, all right, because then you'll be able to sit into your hip a lot better on the backswing.